I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and I coach people and organizations to play big. And I want to give Marc Miller some credit here for coining the term MSU. As I was listening to his podcast today, Career Pivot, and I'll see if I can find the title of the show quickly. His podcast is geared toward people who are changing careers, generally later professionally rather than earlier professionally. And he used this term on a show I was listening today, and I thought it was delightful. So what is MSU, and am I afflicted by this? Well, MSU is make stuff up. And job hunters, and I have to say business people, are guilty of making stuff up to kid themselves in so many different ways. Repurpose Your Career is the title of his podcast. I've had him on Job Search Radio. He was a good guest, and I wanted to give him a shout out for MSU here. So MSU is, do you make stuff up? Well, job hunters do that all the time by deluding themselves and reading between the tea leaves rather than ever confirming their interpretation of what is taking place. So, for example, a job hunter goes on an interview and they think they've aced it because they were there for 40 minutes and the conversation went well, and they didn't notice the fact that the interviewer's eyes were glazing over. Business people, they do it all the time as well. Business people make stuff up about how close they are to a sale, or how much the person was, how they responded to their presentation, or that the employee was really on board with what they told them. And unfortunately, when you make stuff up, the only person that you're kidding is yourself. You see, for job hunters, you guys don't really know what's going through an employer's mind. You just think you're a mind reader, and thus you make it up. You make stuff up because you want to believe that you did well. And then when you get feedback that you were turned down, it was like, huh? What happened? It was a big shock. Well, you're better off being neutral after the interview than speaking when you don't have definitive word back about how you did on your interview. As a business owner, how'd you do on the presentation? I did well on my side. I don't know how well it was received on their side. They didn't really speak about their agenda all that clearly, and thus when you say you did well in the presentation, you're making stuff up, and it feels good until the disappointment hits. So stop making stuff up. If you don't know, just simply say, I haven't heard from them as to what their thoughts are. On my side, it felt like I did pretty well, but until they tell me, I don't know. And there may be factors outside of my control that'll determine whether or not I get this sale, whether or not I get this second interview, etc. So stop making stuff up, because it fools you, and you hurt other people and disappoint them when you suggest to them that you did better than ultimately what you tell them that you did. And I want to explain that remark. If you think you did well and you tell them that you did well, and suddenly you have to come back and say, they didn't buy from me, or they weren't interested in interviewing me again, what's the message that you're telling that other person or people about your ability to recount events? The answer is they stop trusting your feedback because they know it's not really credible. After all, you said you did well and you didn't get an offer or an invitation for another meeting, etc. And the result is all you do is cause their eyes to glaze over it, because they know that you're not an accurate reporter. So again, stop kidding yourself. Be honest, and when you don't have feedback from the client, don't talk about it. You just simply say, I felt like it went well, but until I hear from them, I don't really know how it went. Hope you found this helpful. I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and I coach people and organizations to play big. I'm the head coach for JobSearchCoachingHQ.com and NoBSCoachingAdvice.com. I sure hope you have a great day. Take care.